case, especially considering they knew he had links to this pro-ISIS recruitment network, that he had been arrested and detained back in August for trying to cross illegally into Italy on forged documents, but a judge allowed him to go free. That in June he had the authorities tried to deport him back to Tunisia, but failed after failing to concretely identifying him. The fact that he was able to drive a 25-ton truck through the Christmas market just behind me, killing 12 people and walking away undetected, all of those things have Germans outraged here tonight. John.
All right, Aaron McLaughlin, thanks so much. Paul Cruikshank is still with us. And Paul, you talked about the jaw-dropping gaps in follow-up from German authorities. That's sort of the glass half empty, extremely empty, I should say. Look at this. The glass half full point, which you brought up earlier, is they do now have a lot of information about where to look, things that they can follow up on, perhaps leads in their search. What's the latest on that?
Well, thanks to this police informant, they have a very detailed map of this network. They have addresses, they have phone numbers, they have locations where this group frequented, and so they can go back to all those places, addresses, look at the phone traffic to try and pick up any trace of him. But this is a group whose purpose was to hide and smuggle people and trying to get them out of the country to go and join with ISIS, or for radicals already inside Germany to give them safe houses so they could prepare for terrorist attacks. So this is a group that has some experience in hiding someone. It may well be that there were several others within this network who knew that this was coming and they had a plan in place with an address somewhere in Germany that they felt comfortable was not on the radar screen of the security services to hide him. That may mean it will be quite complicated for the Germans now to figure out where he is. And we saw after the Paris attacks with Salih Abdeslam, at that point the most wanted man in Europe, who ducked out of that attack, he managed to hide for 4 whole months because of this kind of logistical support that people sympathetic towards ISIS have been able to provide.
Paul Cruikshank, we'll let you get back to that investigative report, 345 pages. New information keeps on coming out of it, so we'll hear from you again. Thanks, Paul. We have some breaking news right now. The Obama administration says it is ending a dormant program that was once used to track mostly Muslim men entering the United States. The New York Times first reported this story. The program is called National Security Entry-Exit Registration System, or NSEERS for short. It started after the September 11th attacks, but the Obama administration stopped using it in 2011. CNN Justice correspondent Evan Perez joins us now from Washington with the details on this. Evan, what are you learning?
Well, John, the Homeland Security Department says that they are dismantling this program now. They had stopped using it, as you mentioned, back in 2011. Apparently, according to Obama administration officials, it has been obsolete. It has never once flagged a terrorist. And so it was a program that was useless. It was a program that was set up after 9/11, as you mentioned. It targeted students, workers, terrorists, people, tourists rather, not terrorists, seeking to try to find if anybody was coming into this country to try to commit terrorism. It was listed in 25 countries, including North Korea, but most of the countries were mostly Muslim populations, and so that's the reason why there was a lot of criticism for it. In recent days, we had seen various organizations, civil rights organizations, and the New York Attorney General had asked the Obama administration to get rid of it completely out of fear that it could be used as a sort of architecture for Donald Trump's stated goal of setting up some kind of registration system for Muslims. As you know, the Trump team has now disavowed that. They say that they're going to do a much smarter system to try to target countries, people from countries where there is an increased risk of terrorism, John. But at this point, the program now is no more, simply because it was obsolete. It never really did anything. And so now the Obama administration says they've gotten rid of it.
Right. I mean, the question was, why you dismantle something that's dormant anyway, and the answer is for political reasons, because the incoming Trump administration, initially a year ago, Donald Trump talked about a Muslim ban. His people have clarified that he wants to do heavy screening, extreme screening on certain people coming in from certain countries, and this would have provided the architecture for that. So